In Algebra 6, we're going to look at algebraic fractions. They can be quite tricky, algebraic fractions, particularly when you have longer fractions, maybe with 3 parts. But it all builds up from the basic of fractions. Now, you could just type this question 1 into your calculator and it'll give you the answer. Obviously, with question 2 and question 3, you need to know the rules. So let's look at the rules initially. Now, we can follow the same procedure each time with these questions. If we multiply the two numbers on the bottom, and then we cross multiply going in this direction, or start with the 1 and go down to the 4. So it's 1 by 4, and then 5 with that number up on top there, which is 1, plus 5, which is going to give me a 9 on top and a 20 on the bottom. There's no common factor between 9 and 20, so we can't simplify it any further. Now, this one here is a quarter of x minus an eighth of x. Now, you could actually on your calculator, if you had a sum like this and it was an exam, you could type in a quarter minus an eighth and it would give you the answer, and then you could put x beside it. But let's look at the rules here. Now, I'm going to rewrite this similar to question 3, but just to be aware that a quarter in front of x is x over 4. We don't see this 1 here, so I'll put it there. I won't put it in with the 8. Minus x over 8. And if we follow the same rules as question 1, we're going to get 4 by 8 on the bottom. We're going to get 8 by this 1x, which is 8x. And then it's going to be minus this 4 by this x, which is 4x. So what does that give us? 4x on top, 32 on the bottom. Now, it does have a common factor. 4 divides into both, so we divide both by 4. We're going to get x on top, and 32 divided by 4 is 8 on the bottom. And that's the fully correct answer. Now, if you typed in a quarter minus an eighth, your calculator would see 2 8s minus 1 8, which is 1 8, or x over 8. So let's look at the third one. Again, they're both an x. You could type 7 ninths plus 5 thirds, which will be 7 over 9 plus 15 over 9, which would be 22 over 9. So the answer is going to be 22 over 9 with an x on top. But let's look at the method that we're going to use to keep consistent. 9 by 3 on the bottom. I'll write the 3 by the 7x like this time, plus sign in the middle, 9 by 5x. So we're going to get 21x plus 45x over 27, which is 66x over 27. So where does the 22 over 9 come from? Well, we can divide both of these by 3 to get 22x on top, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. So that would be the answer. Practice these questions again, 3, before we move on to the next stage. Now, write these 4 questions into your copy and practice them. Always good to have a go at them first before looking at the solutions. See how you get on. With question 7, try and follow the same rules that we had done before. Okay, so here's the solutions. Question 4, on the bottom, 4 by 6. On the top, 6 by 2x minus 1. This sign's really important because when we look over to the next question, there's a minus. This is where people start making mistakes. So plus 4 by 3a minus 1. So we're going to get 12x minus 6 plus 12a minus 4 over 24. Now, these are not like terms, so we just have 12x plus 12a minus 10 over 24. Is there a common factor that anyone can see? Divide by 2. Definitely 2. So we're going to divide every term by 2. So 12x divided by 2 is 6x. 12a divided by 2 is 6a. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And on the bottom, we're going to have a 12. So that's it, fully complete. Now for this one, multiply the two numbers on the bottom. We will have common terms on top, 4 by 2. It's important to start with this number, the 2, or to start with the 3x plus 4, whatever way you want to visualize it. But it's this number by this number first, because this minus sign is going to be touching off the 4. So 2 by 3x plus 4 minus 4 by 2x minus 3 is going to give 6x plus 8 minus 8x plus 12. Be careful with that minus by a minus over 8. So minus 2x plus 20 over 8. And that's equal to 2 again is a common factor, minus x plus 10 over 4. So when you're dividing by a common factor, just divide every individual term by that common factor. Now for this one here, I think it's best if we write this as a fraction. So anytime I'm dealing with fractions and one of them is not a fraction, I'm going to write it as a fraction. So what's the rule? We multiply our two terms on the bottom, 4 by 1. We take our 1 and we multiply it by 2x minus 3, which you guys know multiplying by 1 by something is not going to change its value, minus 4 by x minus 1. So we're going to get 2x minus 3 minus 4x plus 4 over 4, which is minus 2x plus 1 over 4, no common factors. On the bottom, we have x minus 4 by 4 minus x. On top, we have 3 by 4 minus x. The minus sign is going to be minus 2 by x minus 4. Now, in maths, this is fully simplified. We don't need to multiply the bottom out. So let's just leave it the way it is. On top, we're going to get 12 minus 3x minus 2x plus 8 over x minus 4 by 4 minus x, which will give me, let's do the x's first, minus 3x minus 2x is minus 5x, 12 plus 8 is plus 20, and on the bottom, x minus 4 by 4 minus x. Now hopefully some of you may see that that top has a common factor. The common factor on top is 5 or minus 5. Let's see what happens if we take a 5 out. Well, let's take a minus 5 out. Well, that's going to leave inside x minus 4. Now, you can see in the bottom, we also have an x minus 4. So this, when you see these sums, they look a bit funny. Normally at the end, something will happen to make them simplify a bit quicker. So I'm rewriting the bottom, and we've seen this many times now. We're in the sixth algebra video if you've looked at them all. These two are going to cancel. We're dividing top and bottom by x minus 4. So the answer becomes minus 5 over 4 minus x. And this is your fully correct solution. Practice these questions repeatedly till you get good at them, till your confidence grows. Algebraic fractions. Now pause the video, get ready for the next test, maybe practice all the questions that we've done so far and test yourself at the end of this topic. Now we're at the test yourself part of algebraic fractions. Hopefully you've practiced them quite a bit and you're confident going into these 4 questions. In question 4, write 7 over x minus 3 plus 2 over 3 minus x in the form k over x minus 3. Don't let this kind of stuff confuse you when you're doing maths. It tells you k is an element of real numbers. So what they're basically telling us is, on the bottom, we're just going to end up with x minus 3. So try and read the question. It's going to help you try and come up with a solution. So pause the video, practice these questions. Okay, let's look at the solutions. Following the same rules that we've agreed on before, 2x minus 1 by 3x minus 1. 5 by 3x minus 1 plus 2 by 2x minus 1. So you should see we're just rearranging and then using our basic algebra knowledge from before, multiplying brackets to get 15x minus 5 plus 4x minus 2 over 2x minus 1 by 3x minus 1. So let me just come up here. So on top we're going to get 19x minus 7, both prime, so there's no way that can simplify, over 2x minus 1 by 3x minus 1. And that's it, solved. Or simplified, not solved, there's no equal sign. So no, not solved. So again, the rules, what are they? 5x on the bottom by 2x. 1 by 2x. Now when you get good at them, you're not going to need that 1 there, and you could probably, instead of writing 3 bracket 5x, you're going to write 15x at this point when you get really good. So 2x plus 15x over 10x squared. Now this will simplify a little bit further. That's going to be equal to 17x over 10 x squared. Let me just come up here. 17x over 10x squared. You're all saying, what's common there? Well, I'm going to write 10x squared just like this, because now I can knock off one of the x's, and I'm just left with 17 over 10x. So this is fully simplified. For question 3, you're following the same rules, I hope. 2 by 4. The 4 is multiplied by the 3x plus 1. Now you could write 12x plus 4 there if you wanted. I'd recommend not skipping a stage in maths. You don't get bonus points for it, and it can lead to error. So keep it simple. 12x plus 4 minus 10x minus 20, all divided by 8, which is going to give me 2x minus 16 over 8. And you're all screaming, there's a factor. What's the common factor? It's 2. So what are you going to end up with? X minus 8 over 4. Okay, the next one, I'll move the screen up a bit. So again, don't get confused by this type of terminology in maths in the form. That just means the answer is going to have a number on top, which is k, and a x minus 3 on the bottom. So they're kind of giving you half the answer, the bottom part. So you know the top will end up being factorized like one of the previous examples. We're going to cancel off. Obviously, this 3 minus x is going to have to be cancelled with something on top. So they're helping you. Even though it may look more confusing or more difficult, they're trying to help you see what the answer will look like. So on the bottom, x minus 3 by 3 minus x. On top, we have 7 by 3 minus x plus 2 by x minus 3. 21 minus 7x plus 2x minus 6 over x minus 3 by 3 minus x. So what's that going to give me on top? 21 minus 6 is 15. And minus 7 plus 2 is minus 5x over x minus 3 by 3 minus x. Now, let's look at the question. X minus 3 is what we want on the bottom. So we want to get rid of 3 minus x. So there's definitely going to be a 3 minus x on top to cancel with this 3 minus x on the bottom. And this x minus 3 is going to stay there. So what do we have to put outside this bracket here to get 15 minus 5x? Well, it's going to be 5. Can everyone see it's going to be 5? Yes, I hear you say. So cancel, cancel, or divide top and bottom by 3 minus x. So if the question asked, what is k equal to? The answer is k equals 5. So write out the answer at the end if that's what you're asked. Hopefully this makes algebraic fractions a little bit clearer. Practice these questions over and over till you become an expert at them, and then move on to Algebra 7.